Now let's look at what are some of the methods that class gives us with. We have, for example, getName method, which returns a string. It tells me the name of the class. We have getSuperClass, which returns a class object for the parent class of the class on which I am doing a reflection. getInterfaces returns a class array. You can implement more than one interface on a class. So therefore getInterfaces returns a class array, one class object for each of the interface implemented. Then we have getMethods, constructors, fields. We also have getDeclared methods, getDeclared constructors, and getDeclared fields. GetMethods and getDeclared methods, both of them return an array of method. GetConstructors and getDeclared constructors return a constructor array and getFields and getDeclared fields return a field array. Now these particular classes are available in a package called java.lang.reflect. So we need to import this particular package to work with these classes. Now what is the difference between getMethods, getConstructors, getFields versus getDeclared methods, constructors and fields? In case of the getMethod, constructor, fields, it will return you all the methods or all the constructors and all the variables which are publicly defined, starting from whatever I have inherited from the object class till the class where I am doing a reflection. Only the public members, starting from object class till the class on which I am doing a reflection. Whereas getDeclared methods, constructors, fields return you all access specified members, but only those members which have been declared or defined in that particular class for which you are making a reflection, not what is inherited. Remember here the getDeclared methods, constructor, fields returns all scoped members, but those only which have been defined in the current class on which you are doing a reflection. Whereas the first set of getter methods are returning you only public members, starting from whatever you have inherited, coming from the object class all the way down to the class on which you are making a reflection. Now since each class can have more than one method, more than one constructor and more than one field, that is a variable, for each method, constructor and variable there is an object created, therefore this is an array here. Now once you have your method, constructor or the field object, you can find out from these classes, for example in case of a method class, you can find out the name of the method, where the method has been declared by saying getDeclared class, what is the return type of the method, what is the scope. You can also invoke a method. Imagine a case where get declared methods is returning your private method as well, and via reflection you are trying to invoke a method. You get a runtime error saying illegal access exception. So although you have an access using a method object, if you were to try to invoke it, you still get an error. So you cannot access the appropriate scope members outside its area, outside its scope. Now let's take a look at the system class. The system class has all static members, class members. We have seen one of them, that is out variable, which is a variable of class print stream, which represents the standard output device. Similarly, a standard error device is represented as an instance of variable ERR, which is of type print stream. We also have input stream object called in the system class, which represents the standard input device. Apart from that, there are several other methods out here. For example, array copy, which takes an object array, that is the source, the starting position in the array where I need to start copying from, and the ending position where I should stop the copy, followed by the destination object array into which I want to copy the array contents, and its starting position where to copy into. We also have exit method, which takes an int value as parameter, and this int value says how I am exiting from the program execution, whether I am exiting successfully or unsuccessfully. So using system.exit, I can exit out of my program execution. We have load library, of string, which takes the library name. This is used to load the DLL file in which you might have defined your native methods. You have get and set security manager, get security manager returns your security manager object telling you whether any security manager has been set for your application. Similarly, you want to derive with your own security manager class, you can write that specifying what restrictions you want to place on your application, and load that security manager by calling set security manager in your application, passing the object as parameter. You also have GC, stands for garbage collector. Remember, while speaking about garbage collection, we said we can explicitly invoke the garbage collector function, but we also mentioned that does not guarantee you the garbage collector will execute at that point. So how do I call for a garbage collector? You call for it using the GC function from the system class. When you invoke this function, at the time of invoking this function, there is no guarantee that this method would be called. It will be called definitely sooner than it would have actually executed the application would have actually executed the garbage collector. Okay, but it does not guarantee the instance you are calling this garbage collector that it would invoke it. We also have getProperty method, which takes a string as parameter. That's a name of the property, which returns the value of a property. Now what is this property? There are a set of environmental properties which are set for your JVM, for your application rather. For example, what is the name of the JVM? What is the version of the JVM? What is the class path specified, etc. are specified as properties in your application. So if you know the name of the property, you can specify that for your getProperty method. It will return you the name of the property.